Sometimes life can throw us unexpected challenges that leave us feeling helpless and vulnerable. For Mike Huddleston, life has never been easy. Mike has a degenerative condition that weakens his muscles, making even the most basic tasks a struggle. But he's never let that stop him from living his life to the fullest. In February of 2000, Mike flew from Maryland to San Francisco for a business trip. He needed to get to a rental car agency, but he knew he wouldn't be able to climb the stairs of the shuttle bus due to his condition. The rental car agency sent somebody to pick him up, but as he was walking outside to meet them, he fell. And due to his condition, he couldn't get up. Mike sat there on the sidewalk in front of the San Francisco airport, feeling helpless, embarrassed, and vulnerable. He looked around, trying to find something to push off of so that he could get up, but nothing was in his reach. He was stuck, alone, and scared. But then, out of nowhere, a stranger appeared. The man, about 35, 40 years old, walked up to Mike, leaned over, and said quietly, "How can I help?" Mike was stunned. He said, "Are you kidding?" The man replied, "No. What can I do to help you, man?" Mike described that what he could do is to help them get up off the ground, and the man did it willingly and capably. He had never experienced this kind of kindness from a stranger before. The man even retrieved his luggage, which had drifted off when he fell. The man asked Mike if he was good. Mike replied, "I am now because of you, so thank you very much." They shook hands. The man said, "No problem," turned around, and walked away. For Mike, that moment was life-changing. The stranger's compassion and willingness to help made him feel seen and considered in a world where he often felt invisible and discarded. It was a small gesture, but it meant everything to Mike. In recounting that story from so long ago, one of the things that Mike said was important about this man's gesture was not only his willingness to help, but in the way in which he offered that help, which was first asking, "How can I help?" Mike said different people may need assistance in different ways. By asking them, "How can I help?" it allows the individual who's in need of assistance to maintain a sense of self, to maybe feel a little less helpless, and maybe even a little less vulnerable. Since that day, Mike has made it his mission to be an advocate for those with disabilities. He volunteers with various organizations and advocates for accessibility and inclusivity in his community. Mike knows firsthand how much a small act of kindness can mean to somebody who is struggling. So, my Darren Daily friends, let's rally together and go out into our world and be a hero to many. We can do it by asking one question: how can I help? You can do it at the office. If you see a colleague struggling with a project or a task, ask them, "How can I help?" If a coworker is showing stress or talking about being overwhelmed, ask them, "How can I help?" You can do it out in the community. If you see somebody struggling to carry something or open a door with a wheelchair or a stroller, ask them, "How can I help?" If you notice somebody on the street or in a grocery store who looks lost or confused, ask them, "How can I help?" You can do it at home. If you notice your spouse harried trying to get ready in the morning or in preparing dinner, ask, "How can I help?" If one of your kids talks about a frustration that they're having at school or in a social situation, you can ask, "How can I help?" So here's the challenge I have for us today: to find at least 3 instances where you can be a hero to somebody by offering your help. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture or a huge sacrifice. It only requires paying attention to the emotions and the burdens of others and asking them this one heroic question: how can I help? Sometimes just hearing somebody offer the very question itself and having it being asked is all somebody needs to feel seen, considered, and cared for. So if you're up for the challenge, write #HereToHelp in the comments below.